The year is 1827. The place a bay off the coast of Greece bathed in the golden light of the Mediterranean sun. This is Navarino, soon to be etched in history as the site of the last great naval battle of the Age of Sail. This wasn't just a clash of ships, it was a clash of empires, a struggle for freedom and a turning point in naval warfare. The echoes of this battle, fought over 2 centuries ago, still resonate today. The Battle of Navarino, with its thunderous cannonade and its far-reaching consequences, marked the end of an era and the birth of a new world order. It was a battle that helped to redraw the map of Europe and shape the destiny of nations. But to understand the full significance of Navarino, we must first journey back in time to the flames of the Greek War of Independence. For it was in the crucible of this conflict that the seeds of the battle were sown. For centuries, the once mighty Greek civilization had languished under the yoke of Ottoman rule. But the spirit of the ancient Greeks, the spirit of Leonidas and Pericles, still burned brightly in the hearts of their descendants. In 1821, after centuries of subjugation, the Greeks rose up against their Ottoman overlords. The Greek War of Independence was not just a fight for political freedom, it was a struggle for cultural identity, a yearning to reclaim their ancient heritage. The Greeks, though outnumbered and outgunned, fought with the courage and determination of their ancestors. Yet, despite their valor, the Greeks faced overwhelming odds. The Ottomans, with their vast resources and powerful military, were determined to crush the rebellion. To make matters worse, the Ottomans enlisted the aid of their powerful vassal, Egypt, led by the ambitious Muhammad Ali Pasha. The arrival of the Egyptian fleet, with its modern ships and experienced crews, tipped the balance of power decisively in favor of the Ottomans. The fate of the Greek rebellion hung precariously in the balance. The Greek struggle for independence did not go unnoticed by the great powers of Europe. The fervor and determination of the Greek people to break free from Ottoman rule captured the attention of many influential figures across the continent. Great Britain, France, and Russia, each with their own interests in the region, watched the unfolding events with keen interest. These nations, driven by a mix of strategic, political, and humanitarian motives, found themselves increasingly drawn into the conflict. The Greek cause resonated deeply with many in Europe, who saw echoes of their own struggles for liberty in the valiant resistance of the Greeks. The stories of bravery and sacrifice spread quickly, igniting a wave of support among the European populace. Public opinion, fueled by the romantic image of the Greek struggle and the writings of poets like Lord Byron, urged intervention. Byron himself became a symbol of the Philhellenic movement, his passionate verses and eventual death in Greece galvanizing public sentiment. However, the European powers were also wary of upsetting the delicate balance of power in Europe. The continent was a complex web of alliances and rivalries, and any misstep could lead to widespread conflict. The Ottoman Empire, though in decline, was still a formidable force, and any intervention carried the risk of triggering a wider conflict. The Ottomans had ruled over vast territories for centuries, and their military might was not to be underestimated. The situation came to a head in 1827. The escalating violence and the Ottomans' brutal suppression of the Greek uprising could no longer be ignored by the European powers. The atrocities committed by the Ottomans against the Greek population, coupled with the growing instability in the region, forced the hand of the European powers. Reports of massacres and widespread suffering reached the desks of European leaders, compelling them to act. In a rare display of unity, Great Britain, France, and Russia signed the Treaty of London. This agreement marked a significant turning point, as the three powers set aside their differences to address the crisis in Greece. This treaty called for an end to the conflict, and demanded that the Ottomans grant autonomy to Greece. It was a bold move, signaling the determination of the European powers to intervene decisively. To enforce their demands, the three powers dispatched a combined fleet to the region, setting the stage for a momentous clash that would forever change the course of naval history. The naval forces, representing a coalition of European might, sailed towards the Aegean Sea, ready to confront the Ottoman fleet and support the Greek cause. The combined fleet of Great Britain, France, and Russia assembled in the Ionian Sea represented a formidable array of naval power. This was not just a show of strength, but a symbol of unity and determination. The waters of the Ionian Sea had never seen such a powerful coalition, each ship a testament to the naval prowess of its nation. At the helm of this fleet were three admirals, each a seasoned veteran with a distinguished record of service. Admiral Edward Codrington of Great Britain, a man whose name was synonymous with naval excellence. Admiral Henry de Rigny of France, whose strategic mind and diplomatic finesse had earned him respect far beyond his homeland. And Admiral Logan Petrovich Heiden of Russia, a stalwart figure whose experience in the Russo-Turkish wars had honed his leadership to a fine edge. Admiral Codrington, a veteran of the Napoleonic Wars, commanded the British fleet. His career was marked by numerous victories and his reputation for bravery was well earned. He was a man who led from the front, inspiring his men with his presence and his unshakable belief in their mission. He was known for his courage, his tactical acumen, and his unwavering belief in the righteousness of the Greek cause. Codrington's leadership was not just about winning battles, but about fighting for a cause he believed was just and noble. Admiral de Rigny, a man of great intellect and diplomatic skill, led the French contingent. His ability to navigate the complexities of international relations was as crucial as his naval command. De Rigny was a thinker and a strategist, always considering the broader implications of every action. He had served with distinction in the Caribbean, and was renowned for his calm demeanor and his ability to maintain discipline amongst his crew. His leadership style was one of quiet confidence, earning him the loyalty and respect of those who served under him. Admiral Heiden, a veteran of the Russo-Turkish wars, brought with him the experience and the stoic determination of the Russian Navy. His presence was a reminder of the strength and resilience of the Russian fleet, forged in the fires of numerous conflicts. These three admirals, though united in their mission to enforce the Treaty of London, were also acutely aware of the delicate political situation. Their alliance was a fragile one, built on mutual respect and a shared goal, but fraught with potential pitfalls. They knew that any miscalculation, any escalation of the conflict, could have far-reaching consequences. The stakes were incredibly high, and the pressure on their shoulders immense. Each decision had to be weighed carefully, considering not just the immediate tactical situation, but the broader geopolitical ramifications. Their task was not just to win a battle, but to navigate the treacherous waters of international diplomacy and achieve a lasting peace. They were not just military leaders, but diplomats and statesmen, striving to balance the demands of war with the hope for peace. The legacy of their actions would shape the future of nations, and they were determined to steer the course towards a just and enduring resolution. The Allied fleet, under the command of Admiral Codrington, arrived off the coast of Navarino Bay in October 1827. This fleet was a coalition of British, French, and Russian ships, united by a common goal: to support Greek independence from Ottoman rule. Inside the bay, sheltering from the autumn winds, lay the combined Ottoman-Egyptian fleet, commanded by Ibrahim Pasha of Egypt. The bay, with its calm waters and natural defenses, seemed an ideal location for the Ottoman fleet to anchor and prepare. The Ottoman fleet, though numerically superior, was a motley collection of ships, many outdated and poorly maintained. These vessels, relics of a bygone era, were ill-equipped to face the modern naval tactics and artillery of the Allied forces. The Egyptian contingent, however, boasted a number of modern warships, armed with the latest artillery. These ships, sleek and formidable, represented the cutting edge of naval warfare at the time. Codrington, a skilled tactician, recognized the importance of neutralizing the Egyptian fleet. He knew that these modern ships posed the greatest threat to the Allied forces, and that their destruction would be key to securing a decisive victory. He also knew that any attack on the Ottoman fleet, anchored in a neutral harbor, would be fraught with risk. The political ramifications of such an action could be severe, potentially drawing other powers into the conflict. He decided to sail his fleet into the bay, hoping to force the Ottomans into a confrontation while avoiding a full-scale attack. This maneuver was bold and fraught with danger, but Codrington believed it was the best way to achieve his objectives without escalating the conflict unnecessarily. The arrival of the Allied fleet within the confines of Navarino Bay created a tense standoff. The two fleets, anchored opposite each other, were like coiled springs, ready to unleash their destructive power at a moment's notice. For 3 days, the two fleets lay at anchor, their guns trained on each other, the fate of Greece hanging in the balance. The tension was palpable, with every sailor and officer acutely aware of the stakes. Negotiations between the Allied admirals and Ibrahim Pasha proved fruitless. Despite their best efforts, the two sides could not reach an agreement, and the prospect of a peaceful resolution grew increasingly dim. The Ottomans, confident in their numerical superiority and their strong defensive position, refused to back down. They believed that their fortified position within the bay would give them the upper hand in any engagement. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of Greece and herald the end of an era. The battle that was about to unfold would not only shape the future of the region, but also signal a shift in the balance of naval power in the Mediterranean.